Hi, I'm Ashley, and I love the 49ers.
And I'm Nicole, and I love the Chargers.
And we are touchdowns
and tight ends.
We are not experts.
But we are passionate.
We are sure passionate. And we're 2 weeks into the season.
2 crazy weeks into the season. Holy.
Crazy weeks with a lot of injuries, dude.
Dude, so many injuries. So many injuries already. I'm like, what is going on?
But, does this happen every year? I feel like almost every year we're like, oh, look at all these injuries. And then it always happens at the beginning.
The water today. Boring.
Oh, same.
I think so too, but I feel like, and we'll definitely get into this, but I feel like the injuries that have happened so far this year have been so substantial and so rough. Like there's always injuries, right? Like Keenan Allen going out for a week, hamstring injuries, things like that. But like the injuries that we're seeing now,
season-ending injuries, or months out, right?
Yeah, I mean it's insane.
Yep.
So, What's up, Dean? How's it going?
Hi,
Cavs
Dean.
won. Patriots won.
All right. So what do we want to talk about first? You want to talk about our games?
I feel like I have so much to talk about, and I know that I already kind of went off on Instagram on Sunday, but I'm still just blown away by what the heck happened on Sunday. But yes, I'm very all over the place today. So let's dial it back, Nicole, and let's talk about the games. So
we can start with your game. It was the Thursday night game.
I'll start with Chargers Chiefs. 24-7.
No. Sorry, Brixton.
We lost. I predicted that we were going to lose.
Yep. Your predictions have been spot on so far.
So far, 2 for 2.
If you keep it up, you guys are going to have a good season.
But I did think we were going to have that game. It was, especially leading the way that we did, we came in so strong. A lot of people have been saying that they think that the defense played just as well. I don't think so. I don't think that they were as good against the Chiefs as they were the Raiders. You didn't see a lot from Khalil Mack this week. You did see Derwin James pick up Travis Kelce,
dude. 250
pounds, and Derwin James is 215 and just body slammed him.
That was like some WWE stuff. I was like,
insane. It's crazy. It was like one of the best things that happened all week. But fourth quarter, my boy Herbie went down hard. That was tough to watch. It's tough to watch any player get hurt, right? But especially to see someone wince in that much pain and as strong as he is and a team player that he is. He actually did go out. Well, he finished the game. He has fractured rib cartilage. So there's still no update on if he's going to be playing. They're supposed to monitor it tomorrow and see if he'll be able to play. Personally, I think he should sit it out. It's Jaguars. It's not a big deal. Sit that game out, rest for another week, and then, come back strong the following week. He just showed so much heart. I mean, he's wincing in pain. He can barely throw the ball. It's just sloppy. It's all over the place because he's in pain. And then all of a sudden he pulls it together and throws this long bomb to Josh Palmer and gets that touchdown. That is just, it's beautiful.
Yeah, man. I hope he's okay too. For your team, also for my fantasy team.
Yeah.
But really, just because he's also a person, and I hope everybody's always okay. So
exactly. But I mean, we can talk about fantasy too a little later. But fantasy was a bust or just went off.
So I actually didn't even check my teams to see if I won.
Oh,
or not. Okay, I won in one league.
Okay,
148 points. And I won in the other league.
There you go.
I won both of them. And now I'm in first place in that league. And I was forecasted to be last.
With your C for champion?
Yeah.
Now it's A for awesome. No,
Sorry, I digress. I just thought I forgot about fantasy till right now.
no worries. It's like last night's game with the Bills. Anybody that had Barkley or Allen just destroyed. Lamar
Actually, the guy I played last night had Allen, and I had Hurts, and I won because of Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts had a big game too.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts had a really big game. I think Barkley had over like 44 points or something.
Yeah, there were some massive points put up in fantasy this week.
Huge.
Yeah.
So super upsetting game for the Chargers. We're now 1-1. Chiefs are 2-0. Wah, wah. We'll get them next time. But Jimmy, Trey Lance, holy.
So I'm going to start by saying it really sucks that Trey Lance is out. Obviously, we don't want anybody to have a season-ending injury. And for someone who was just named the starter, started his second game of the season out in the second drive for the rest of the season, like, it just sucks. And I hope he's able to bounce back from it, because we also know that sometimes with these injuries, they never come back and play the same. And he never even got like a chance to prove and show what he could do.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side, Jimmy's back, baby. And we all know that I'm a Jimmy fan. So thank the Lord, the 49ers retain Jimmy as a backup. I swear to God, though, Nicole, I think I told you this. I'm like, is the NFL scripted? Like, what the F?
I know. I know. And Kevin, my friend Kevin, was over on Sunday, who's also a 49ers fan. And before I went and met you guys for book club, we were literally talking about Jimmy G and like the possibilities of where he could go and what's going to happen, and him being on the bench, making as much money as he's making. And thank God he was.
Yeah. I mean,
but
thank God that they didn't try to trade him to Dallas.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen just because Prescott's going to come back.
Well, they're not going to trade him now. He's our quarterback for the year.
Yeah. Well, so Lance had a broken ankle. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
I'm happy Jimmy's back for a lot of you Jimmy fans, but I feel so sorry for Trey Lance. I mean, they were just priming him all last year, all off season to be, this great quarterback. And he put in all that work just to get injured on the second game of the season.
I know. And all the hype around him, and is he the future of the 49ers and, all that jazz. And now we won't know until next year. But now here's the scary thing. Now we need backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I think we have Brock Purdy, who we drafted this year, but we released Nate Sudfeld, who was picked up by, I can't remember, maybe the Jaguars or someone, right? So I'm like we've never had a good backup QB situation.
Yeah, we're in the same boat. I mean, we did with Herbert for a second, but we're in the same boat. I was talking about that too. Like, if Herbert is out, I don't have any faith in Chase Daniels or Easton Stick. So we need solid backup QBs.
Yeah. The good news with Jimmy being back is that we won 27-7. Now, I didn't get to watch the whole game because I had to leave your house to drive home. But I know that Jimmy threw a touchdown pass, his first full drive out there. And mind you, like, he has not participated in OTAs or training camps or he has not been taking first team reps. Like, he has not done any of that this season. So thank goodness he was our starter for so long and could get out there and just fill in. But, I did notice he was passing a little bit more this game. And I feel like normally it's like so much of the run game. So when he threw that pass, I'm like, oh God, let's be, Jimmy likes to throw interceptions, but he threw a touchdown. And then I was listening to the game while I was driving home, and he ran in a touchdown at I think it was 4-1, right? Like 4th and 1.
Yeah.
And ran it in. And I was like, all right, Jimmy. I mean, he's really good at that quarterback sneak. That is his thing. Let's see. So he was 13 for 21 passes for 154 yards. I think we had a field goal blocked by the Seahawks, and they caught it and ran it back. Got a touchdown. I mean, that's how they got the touchdown.
Right.
Was that blocked kick, And then Jimmy Ward had an interception. I think overall we looked a lot better this Sunday than we did last Sunday. Like, it looked like the 49ers again, not like a hot mess. Like Kyle Juszczyk had some big plays. Hufanga had some big plays. So, it's good. And because of all the craziness that happened last week, the NFC West is all tied. Every team is 1-1.
It's crazy.
So now we're like back at starting. So, but we'll see what happens with Jimmy the rest of the year. Hopefully he stays healthy. That's always been the question with Jimmy G is, can he stay healthy?
Yeah, I hope he does. I hope he does.
And I hope he takes us to the Super Bowl and wins and is like, booyah, in everybody's face.
He's like, what now?
Yeah.
Well, he seemed so excited when he got back in there.
I think he was. He's probably like, yes.
Like, I'm playing again. This is
amazing. Was a starter. He was a starter. You know what I mean? Like he's a starting quarterback. He's not the worst quarterback in the NFL, and he was a backup.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
That's so weird. It's disappeared on my screen. I cannot see anything.
Oh yeah, I see you just fine.
Okay, well, I'll just keep talking like I can see myself, but I can't. So I can't see any of the comments, Ashley. So if you can see them, if you could read them.
I can read them, but I can't display them because you have access to that.
That's okay.
All right. So Dean said, good thing the Niners kept Jimmy G. Yep, good thing. And then Lions Talk with Mike by Chat Sports says, hello, hi, Mike. 49ers can sign Cam as a backup. Man, you're really just trying to get Cam somewhere.
Seriously. Just trying to get Cam somewhere. Do you think he'll end up anywhere?
I don't know. He didn't even play last year, right? He didn't even play last year. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen.
Micro Max said he saw our stream pop up and figured he would take a listen. Thank you for joining. We appreciate it. And he also says that Hufanga is a beast. His guy Chase Sr. loves him. Hufanga is a beast. I am a huge Hufanga fan.
Did he have a big game this week too?
It wasn't as big as last week's, but he had a couple of good stops. Yeah. He's just, he's going to do so well.
Yeah. It's awesome. He's a great player. He's fun to watch too.
Mm-hmm. So.
All right.
Oh, he said that Cam played last year with Carolina in 5 games. I forgot about that.
Oh my God, Carolina, poor Carolina. I mean, what are your thoughts on Mayfield?
I don't know. What is Carolina's, how have they been doing this season? So I apologize, guys. We're on a football podcast and I should be watching football all the time. And I just haven't had a lot of time the last couple of weeks. But how is the Carolina doing?
I do not think that they have won a game.
Oh.
No, they're 0-2.
Then maybe Mayfield's being Mayfield. But I also don't know if they're losing because of him or because of defense or.
Well, everything is nuts right now. I mean, we had so many crazy games this week. Did you watch any of them?
Well, I feel like I was driving for like all the games on Sunday.
Yeah, you're driving to me and then driving home. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, and then last night I was just busy with the kids.
So we have a few undefeated teams still. Okay.
The Chiefs. Who else?
So we got the Chiefs in my division. Yes. We've got the Dolphins and the Bills for the AFC East.
That's going to be a good game next week.
So that's one of my top games for next year.
That's one of my top games for next week.
Yeah. Can't wait to see that just because they're both undefeated and the Dolphins look pretty good. I mean, the Dolphins' comeback against the Ravens this week was insane. Tua went off.
Oh yeah, he got a ton of points.
I think I said earlier this season. I think that people were sleeping on him. I don't know if he's going to continue like this for the whole season, but I mean, he just killed it. And Lamar Jackson also killed it, but Miami came through and won that one. So we've got the Dolphins and the Bills for the AFC East. We've got Kansas City And then we've got NFC East. We've got the Giants and the Eagles. The Giants are surprising to me this year.
Yeah. The Eagles are not, but the Giants are.
And then the Bucks. And can we talk about the Bucks for a second?
Okay, Mike Evans getting ejected.
Mike Evans getting ejected. Tom Brady throwing a tantrum. Like, we are grown-ass men. What are we doing?
Dude, I'm pretty sure Tom Brady's like separating from his wife right now, and so he probably just has a lot of emotions going on.
That's true. They haven't, what are they saying? They haven't lived together for like 2 months now.
Yeah, something like that. So
it's got to be tough. He's probably got a lot of pent up feelings going on there.
Yeah. Oh, we have some comments. So, you got him. You're back.
I'm back. What's up, Barry? So what about baby boy Tom Brady? That was insane. I mean, that whole fight, and I know that there's such a history with the Steelers and the Saints and the Bucks, but it looks like they broke that curse that they had or whatever, and the Bucks were able to beat the Saints this year. But there's just so much aggression. There's so much aggression between those two teams. So I don't know. Is it like personal?
Probably a little bit. Maybe.
Are the 49ers ever aggressive like that?
I don't think I don't remember like any big fights with like this team, Yeah. Like maybe back in the day.
Yeah, the Chargers aren't either. I mean, there's been a couple little things with the Raiders, but that's mostly the Raiders. And I'm switching gears again because I told you I'm very ADD today. But the Raiders coming back, or the Raiders losing to the Cardinals, I know that doesn't make you happy.
I know.
That was the best game for me of the week. I mean, coming back, what was it, 23-7 in the third quarter and losing. And then Murray goes out and is giving high fives to his fans, and some Raiders asshole goes and slaps him in the face.
God.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. What is wrong with people?
God. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm just on one today. All right, David. Finns went shark mode on those purple chickens.
David's always got the best names for all the teams.
I know. I need to write all his names down.
So do I.
The purple chickens. I love it. What's up, David? Miami is the sleeper for the AFC. Eagles are the real deal. Bucks have some issues. I totally agree with all of that.
So do I. Mike McDaniel is, he was our offensive coach, so our offensive coordinator, and is now the head coach for Miami. So, I'm invested in that team this year.
So speaking of Miami and the Bills, what do you think for next week?
Oh, man. I'm such a Josh Allen fan. I think the Bills will win.
The way that the Bills are playing and the way that the Dolphins are playing, I'm not saying that they're, not as good, but there's something about the Bills, and I just don't know from what I've seen this season if there's a better team. But it's still early. It's only game 2.
Yeah.
They haven't had, they had an injury to one of their defense players, which was pretty bad to watch too, but he's going to be okay. He's an ass wipe. I agree. I'm just done with him. Hey, Miss Bird Gang. We're doing well. Hope you guys are doing well. So shout out to the BNG network or BGN network for having Ashley and I on their network live every Tuesdays at 5:30. So if you guys don't already subscribe, please go do so now and hit that little bell to get notifications on when we go live. But it's usually every Tuesday, 5:30 PST.
Mm-hmm.
Giselle making more money than Tom. Does he qualify for alimony? Oh, God. I don't think so. These guys have way too much money.
Right.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. And congratulations to you and your win last week. This is interesting. So Tom Brady, it's personal because the NFL does baby him. I think that's a really good point. And I think that not everybody thinks about that, but he is. I mean, even with the refs, I think all the refs love Tom Brady.
Yeah.
It's like he can do no wrong.
Yep. I can see that.
So Barry says the Bills are going to win against the Dolphins. Dean says Tom Brady should have stayed in New England where there's structure, but he chose to leave. Well, I mean, you guys aren't doing it's Mac's doing all right?
Yeah.
Be okay.
I'm a fan of Mac.
The real micro Mike.
He's asking about the micro Mike who's on our chat right now. He's asking if he's the real one.
Oh.
And his response is
yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
It's like Bills started 5-0 in 2020, didn't make the Super Bowl. Congrats to the Bills for beating a bad Titans team. I mean, that's true, but they still played a good game. I still think the Bills are a really good team.
I think they're a great team and they're fun to watch.
They are fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We'll see, Dean. It's going to be interesting. I'm glad I'm not playing the Bills.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, we might see them later
in the Super Bowl,
in the playoffs. We couldn't. You could.
Yeah, we might see them in the Super Bowl if we make it that far.
There you go. I mean, the game that we saw against the Seahawks, it was a damn good game.
It's only week 2.
No, they do baby him. They do. Dean says Dolphins over Bills.
Okay.
Love the channel, Mike. Congrats, 25K. Awesome. Congratulations. That is amazing. He cheated in New England. The whole deflated ball thing. What's going on? Thanks for joining. All right. So a lot of new followers and listeners this week. So thank you all for joining. This week's show is mostly just talking about everything that went down last week because it was insane. So let's ask you guys, what was your favorite game this week?
Well, we could also talk our predictions. I was right this week too. You were right. You said that the Chargers were going to lose. Mm-hmm. I said the 49ers are going to win.
Yeah.
So you're right. Now, next week, you guys play the Jaguars, and you predicted you're going to win. Do you think you're still going to win, even if Herbert doesn't play?
Ugh.
Trevor Lawrence hasn't been doing awful.
They don't look bad. I don't think they look bad. I mean, they shot out the Colts this week. I don't trust Chase Daniels. I really don't. I think Keenan Allen will be back. I think if Keenan Allen was in, and I can say all these things that if this happened, we could have won. If the refs called the right calls, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, we lost the game. Do I agree with us losing the game? No. But I still think we're going to beat the Jaguars.
Okay. So we play the Broncos next week. How do they do this week? I didn't pay attention.
The Broncos?
Yeah.
They won.
Who'd they play?
The Texans. They didn't look good.
Okay. So I originally predicted that we would lose to the Broncos because I think that Russell Wilson is like our kryptonite. But I wonder if it's a Russell Wilson in Pete Carroll's system that is our kryptonite, and it's not actually Russell Wilson. I think we could win. I think I think Kittle should be back. Jimmy's back, and he's probably super pumped to come out there and know he's the starter again. That'll be his first starting game.
Yeah. Of
the season. So my original prediction is a loss, but I think that we could win. And it's in Denver, but I mean,
I think that you guys can absolutely win that game. I've been watching Russell on the Broncos since the season started. So the last 2 weeks, they lost to the Seahawks. They lost to Pete Carroll. So again, it's like what we talked about last week. Is it really Russell or is it Pete Carroll and Russell? Or is it Pete Carroll?
Well, and didn't you tell me that Russell Wilson didn't change like his hand calling?
Yeah. So Tyler Lockett came out and said that there was a couple, calls that he did when he was on the Seahawks. And so they knew exactly what he was going to be doing. I don't know how much of that is true. If Lockett, I mean, who knows? But yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So week 3 should be interesting.
So yes, that to me was the nuttiest game of the week, 1000%. And I was crying because I was so happy. But even though the Cardinals came back and won, I don't have a lot of faith in the Cardinals this year.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't feel like I have a lot of faith in them any year.
I love the Raiders popping bottles of champagne at the third quarter, celebrating their win. Yeah.
That could have really that did really backfire for them.
Yeah. 100%.
That's why we don't do shit like that. Like you can't celebrate like before it's done. That's like, I'm so superstitious when people start talking about like, you're going to win this game. Like, I'm like, shut up. Don't say anything about the game until it's over.
It's not over till it's over. I mean, look at how we were leading the Chiefs, but as a 49ers and as a Chargers fan, we know
the fourth quarter
means everything.
Yeah.
Because we can ball out in the first 2 quarters and then Q3 and 4, you just fall to shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
what games are you excited for next week?
Favorite game was a win for us. Yeah, that was a great game. And then Miami and Ravens, super awesome. I love that game. I have the 49ers defeating the Broncos. So,
all right.
49ers for Broncos. I agree. I think that you guys are going to beat the Broncos.
Okay.
What's up, Mr. Bird Gang? How's it going? So my favorite games next week are, drumroll, Chargers, Jags.
Of course.
Every week it's going to be my team. 49ers and Broncos for 2 reasons. One, because of you, and I love you and I want you to win, but also because I want the Broncos to lose. And then it's tied with the Bills-Dolphins game because they're both undefeated and in the same division. I want to see what happens there. And then the Raiders-Titans because I want to see the Raiders lose to the Titans.
Okay. That's good. Yeah. This week I had to look at games and obviously the 49ers Broncos game. And then the Rams Cardinals game, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really important one. And then unfortunately the Chargers game's not a game. I'll watch it because
that's okay.
But I'm like, they're playing the Jags this week. It's the Bills Dolphins that I'm like, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah. The Chargers Jags has no effect on you whatsoever. So
totally. So I was like, well, when you guys play somewhere that it has a impact on us,
just if I'll be in a good mood or a bad mood laying by the pool in Mexico after watching the game. Yeah, the Rams game will be good. I mean, another crazy thing was that the Falcons almost beat the Rams.
I know.
What? And then the Jets won? I don't know. I love football so much, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, you just can't. We've learned that we can't predict it. Every year we do this. We're like, what?
How do we feel about the Eagles?
I feel like Jalen Hurts gets me a lot of fantasy points.
The Eagles looked real good last night against the Vikings. I will say that. I think the Eagles, to be honest with you, is not a team that I think about very often just because it's not close to, my team. But I think they look great. I think they're going to have a good season for sure. I think
they'll take their division for sure.
I mean, they're one of the undefeated teams right now. So
yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 AFC East, 2 NFC East, and then KC, and then 1 in NFC South for the Bucks. Please let Stafford lose. Kelly Stafford tried to get my boss fired from the Lions front office.
I'm not a fan of her either. I'm not a fan of her because she decided to try to buy out SoFi and give tickets to anybody who would cheer for the Rams instead of 49ers fans last year. Do you remember that? And after that, I was like, that's it, Kelly Stafford.
She does that almost every game. She'll give away so many tickets, but it has to be for only Rams fans, which is like, come on.
Yeah, it's not our fault that they don't want to come to the games.
And she's also got this podcast right now, and it's like the morning after with Kelly or something like that. But she's talking about how she's the oldest NFL wife. Girl, you're 33 years old. You are not the oldest. Look at Giselle.
Yeah.
Like what? I don't know. She's very annoying.
That's funny.
Dolphins win and Patriots win. Jets and Bills lose. Pats will be second in the division. There you go. I have Hurts as my QB on fantasy grade points. Was he just as good the first week?
He got a good amount of points the first week. I can't remember how many. How do I look at the last week's? I use too many apps, for this. And so I don't know. This is the NFL app. I've never used this one.
I'll find it. But it sucks for anybody that picked up Trey Lance.
I know. And nobody picked up Jimmy. I mean, unless he was like,
all my people had him on the bench.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because it was, I shouldn't say it was inevitable that he was going to come back, but I think a lot of people had a feeling.
Well,
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Mike Evans is suspended.
Oh my God. Thanks. I got to take him off my team.
Yeah, I do too. 2 of my teams. God. And the Bills defense, I think, got like 22 points yesterday.
I had the Bucks defense on one of my teams and they got me 27 points.
Dang. Really?
I know. I was like, thanks. That's why I won.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny because people don't think about the defense. They're like, it doesn't mean that much, but it really does.
Oh, yeah. It can win the game for you.
Points, that's as much as a quarterback gets you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Nuts. All right, let's see. My dad is a diehard Eagles fan. Kelly is nuts. Matt's super nice. His wife is a pain. I feel the same. And I feel like Patrick Mahomes is probably in the same situation, even though I think Patrick Mahomes is incredibly arrogant. I think he's nicer than his wife.
Same.
Her and his brother. She's a moron. I love this guy. Nice to meet you. So Justin Herbert injury, he's day-to-day still. Yes, he is. We'll know more tomorrow. Also, I don't know if you guys are all involved with fantasy football, but we are the correspondents for the Chargers, and we send in a video every week where we talk about all the Chargers players for fantasy injuries, who to sit, who to play based on who they're playing and the background on the teams. But all the teams are out there. So if you guys don't have it, Fantasy Football Network, download the app. It's pretty cool. He was a fantasy player of the year last year and close to it this year too. Yeah.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Come on, Siri.
Excuse me, Siri. All right. Well, that's I think that's what we had this week. Yeah.
That is a wrap for this week. It was a quick one, guys. We appreciate you coming and joining us. I think next week, I know we can't go live next week because I'm going to be out of town for work. So I believe we were either going to try to pre-record or go live on Monday. Make sure you follow us on Instagram to stay updated, and we'll let you guys know what our decision is for next week.
Yep. So touchdowns underscore tight ends on Instagram. Go follow us, and we'll post stories on if we're going to go live or if we'll do a pre-recorded session, and then we'll post that here. So
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining.
Have a great week.
Good luck, all. Good night.
Bye, guys.